Hello again, it's a beautiful day here, and I hope it's a beautiful day wherever you're at. What we got going on here is a pre-stretched canvas, 16 by 20. And what I'm going to do is, today I'm going to do a little bit of a different scene. I'm going to add a little bit of a stream, a little waterfall, maybe a pond, some mountains. So, let's get started. This is already painted with a thin coat of liquid white, and that's what I'd use, the 2-inch brush. That helps the wet on wet. It's not the traditional oil painting. Everything happens right here, right on the canvas. I'm going to start out with some Prussian blue, a little bit of phthalo blue on a 2-inch brush. I'm going to use crisscross strokes, and we're going to start out in the corners. Just like that. Here and there, and there and here. I get another brush going. And in our world, we're going to have some pinkish glow. Add the 2-inch brush and you tap it on both sides. Alizarin crimson. It's almost like a purple color. You'll see it when I put it on here. So as I said, we're having a pond. We'll bring it right down into the pond too. Who knows? It's your world. You can put it wherever you'd like. Whatever kind of hue that you want. And normally in the horizon you'll see that it goes all the way across the whole sky. On the sunset, sunrise. Just depends on what you're looking for. I'm going to add a little bit more color. Darken it just a little bit. Down here in the water, we're going to make it dark anyways, but I figured we'd get that almost like a pink sheen to the water. Here and there, and there and here. Who knows? We'll get it happening. Then when you put your mountains in, when you blend the colors down, and we go to the blue color again, some of that alizarin crimson is going to turn with the blue almost like a purple. Maybe this dark right down through here. Maybe same thing on this side. It's dark right through here. Dark up here. Dark wherever you want. I'm going to take this blender brush. I'm going to start blending it in. It's kind of help. It takes the brush strokes out too. But it gives you more of a sky look. Just like that. Got all kinds of things happening in here. Now we'll use that. We'll come here and some of the light. Since we got the liquid white on, we'll come in to the blue. We don't want to change the color of the crimson. That pink hue that we got going on. I think that's a good thing. We'll just make some clouds. Take the blue, and when you bring it over, leave some white areas in there. You don't want to cover it all up. You could put it here and there and here. Who knows? Maybe go across like that, give it that look of some clouds happening in the distance. Same thing over here. Okay, I'm going to beat my brush off, get all the excess off as much as I can. Okay, now we got that going on. I'm going to take another 2-inch brush. I'm going to start putting some of that water line in I told you about. that purple. Tap it on both sides. Just like that. Maybe our mountain's there, maybe our pond is right here. And make sure you come across with straight lines when you're making water. Because if not, your water's going to fall right off your canvas. And we don't want that. Loading it up again. So I want it darker. If you ever notice in nature, especially by the landscape, water isn't always blue. It's got a purple look to it. And the closer to the land, or wherever you got it going on, the darker it gets. If you notice, we're leaving a line down the middle here. Gives a reflection of the water. More color. Who knows where it comes? We'll just have it come all the way down here. Because we'll fill this in with land. We're going to put like a waterfall coming down right here with a little creek. Okay, we got that going on for right now. I think that's good. We're going to a palette knife. But first, we're going to put some clouds in. I'm going to use a fan brush. I'm going to load it up with some titanium white. Tap it same way we did with the 2-inch brush. Tap it on both sides. Load it up. Just like that. Let's say maybe we got some clouds going on right here. Turn the brush over. Add some more color. Maybe a touch of liquid white to thin the paint out some. Cleaning the brush off because we're picking up some of that blue color in the sky, and it gets into the white of the clouds. And that's not really what we want. So that's what you see me doing. I'm just wiping it off a little bit, going back into the whites. Maybe it goes right up. Got all kinds of little things happening. Who knows? Maybe in our world there is now. There's a cloud right over here. Maybe it goes right down. Get some clouds happening on both sides. That's always a good thing. It's your world. You can put it wherever you'd like. Maybe in through here. I'm going to take some of that white color as soon as I do this other side here and add a little bit of that, the mountain color we're going to use. And we're going to put some purple skies in. And I'll show you with that. Loading the fan brush with the purple. Just like that. Maybe in our world a cloud right here. There is now. Maybe it comes back and goes right across, just like that. All you're doing is tapping, almost making a straight line. Get some distant clouds. Maybe there's a big cloud back here. Goes all the way up. Who knows? Scrape it in. Clouds, they got all kinds of different things happening. So don't ever feel that you can only make one type of a cloud. Because if you notice in nature, clouds, they have all kinds of shapes. They're here and there and different colors and different shades, and yeah, we'll make this one kind of a cloudy day. Got some white happening. I'm going to clean my brush off again. Now we're going to take the blender brush and just barely blend the bottom of the sky, bottom of the clouds. You gotta keep that top edge because that's what gives you that fluffy sky look. I'm doing all the lighter colors first. So I like that white in the clouds. Maybe that goes right down into there. Now we'll get into the darker colors. Do the same thing. Blend it. Not too much. Here and there. There and here. Because like I said, in nature, it looks just like that. Cleaning my brush off again. Now we're going to go into the palette knife with some purple. Cut a little roll of paint and determine where we want our mountain to be. Maybe in our world, it's right up here in the clouds. Maybe it's a steep mountain. Add more color. Maybe it's got some edges, some peaks on the other side. Just scrape it in. It's your world. Maybe there's one right there. Just scrape it in. Just like that. We can make it as big as we want. I see a little peak right here. Maybe that goes off like that. Maybe there's something that comes out here, an edge. Just like that. I'm going to touch up this top part. That's all I'm worried about, is that top edge. What we're going to do is scrape all the excess off. Then we're going to put our highlights in. Just like that. Now, I'm going to take a fan brush and I'm going to blend it in. Pull it down. Here's where you can get your shapes. And how big you want it. Cleaning the brush off. I want to pull all the excess. Maybe it comes down here. Maybe there's another. Maybe this goes this way. Maybe it fades in. And that's what you want in nature. Look at a mountain, if you ever have the opportunity. Usually at the bottom of the mountain, you got that misty look, especially if it's far away. Maybe there's all kinds of things happening in this one. They go here and there and cutting the angles down. Maybe it goes like that. You can cut it in to where you can almost see where your line's going to be. You want to pay attention to the lay of the mountain. That looks pretty good. I'm going to clean my palette knife off because I'm going to pick up some, cut across a little roll of titanium white, because let's say our light source is coming from the left here. Barely tap it. Tap it. Just let it run off. Just like that. And you want all the breaks to stay in there. It makes it look like rocks and boulders. And getting another little roll of paint. Maybe on this fountain right here there's a highlight. Just tapping it. Maybe by putting this one here, it takes that one and pushes it back. And you always want to clean your brush off or your palette knife because you don't want to get the color of the mountain mixed in with the white. And if you want to add more color, highlight it more. Maybe this one comes right down here. All that action, all that breaking. The lay of the land. Or in this case, the lay of the mountain. Now let's say there's some snow up here. Just tap. Load up. Want it darker. Darker or more white. Maybe there's a valley that's in there. And that's what happens automatically. And that's what is fun about painting. Because it's your world. I mean, you can make anything. You can do anything. Make anything happen any way. Have it look any way you want. Put crevices in and mountains, and it's really a wonderful experience once you learn how to paint. Add a little bit more color, more white. Snow is what makes it. Maybe in our world there's some right up here. Just tapping it. Canvas takes what it wants and it leaves you the rest. And you'll feel that when you're putting this on here. You'll feel how it's taking it off. Pulling the white away. Maybe in our world it goes right down like that. Add some more color, more white. More white, a roll of white. Who knows, maybe this goes right down, right into there, and off the hillside. Got all kinds of things happening over here, but I see it's kind of too straight, so I'm going to make some crevices here that come out further. Maybe here, maybe there. Maybe that comes just like that. That automatically pulls that out. So you got that angle. Now I'm going to take a little bit of blue with the white. Now you want a shade color. Usually that's what nature looks like. Kind of a shady. You don't want to leave it marble just like that. You don't want to mix it up too much. Maybe in our world. Same thing, just tapping it. Coming right down. Maybe right in that crease there we want to do something with that. Right in here. That one piece we made. Add a little bit more blue. Leave it marbled. Just tapping it here and there and there and here. You'll see it doesn't all have to be shaded in, because what's going to happen is it's going to give you that more of a deeper look, like there's rocks back there. Just tapping it. On this palette knife, you got a little edge there. And that's what's good about coming in here. Doing some of these smaller areas. Maybe where you want to highlight it. Darker. Just like that. And you could always keep working on this, tweaking it, adding, taking away, whatever you think. What I see is I need some more white to cover up some of the blue we put in to make it stand out more. You can pull some of that blue off of there too. That's what the good thing about it is. And my peak here, I want more snow up here. That's the highest point. Now we'll take some more of the blue and do the other side in through here. Maybe just tapping it. Just barely. Just giving the impression of some shadowiness. Some shadowy area. Who knows, maybe it goes down like that. That's more white. More white in the snow. More white on the snow. Make it more of a snow-capped mountain. Just like that, you got some reflections going on in there. Got some things happening. Got a lot of breaking. This looks nice, comes down. I'm going to touch that up just a little bit more. Bring that right down to the edge. You step back and you look at it and you get a different angle. Right in here, looks like it's dark, like there's a big shadow there. That's a good thing about it, and we didn't have to really do anything. things start happening when you're oil painting. You step back and you go, oh, I didn't plan that. And you look at it and you say, wow, that's pretty good. It all looks good. I'm going to take the blender brush. What we want to do is tap in the horizon, the bottom of the mountain. Pay attention to the layout of the mountain. Tap in the bottom because you want to diffuse the colors, some of them, and give it that misty look right at the bottom. Go all the way across. You'll see as you go, as you're painting, right where you need to pick some up, leave some off. Tap it, give it that misty, who knows, glow. Get all kinds of stuff happening up there. Comes right down into the water. That looks good. In the distance, we're going to take the same fan brush. I'm going to load up some more purple, darker purple. I'm going to come across here and put some in here. Get my line going that I want, where it's darker. Just kind of scrape it in. More color. Pull down. Kind of get the reflection, maybe of the mountain. Who knows? Goes right down. What's going to happen is you're going to pull it down like this. Then we're going to take the blender brush and go across it. And it's going to give it that look of water. Barely go across. Kind of makes things happen. What I'm going to do is take that fan brush we use for the clouds with the white on it, come in here and I'm going to bring some white down because it's the reflection of the mountain. And it's just a reflection, and you'll see once we use that blender brush again, that white kind of makes it pop. This gives it a different little flavor, I'll call it. Take that blender brush again and pull down. You want that glowy sheen. The sheen look. Just go right across. Barely. Just like that. Always trying to create illusions. Now with that same fan brush with that color on it, we're going to put some distant trees in here. We're going to put a line in across. Make it like a and what we're going to do is we're going to pull up with the edge. Just like that. So I'm just doing this. What that's doing is taking the color that I just put down. And we got some actions of some little trees in the background. Maybe some evergreen trees here and there. Just by pulling up on the paint we just put down. You can make them as tall as you want. Maybe there's some big ones over here. He's got them all kinds of different sizes happening. All the way down into, who knows? Got some different shades of it too. Just like that. Take the blender brush, tap it, mist it a little bit, pull it down some, get the reflection of the trees in the water. Take your fan brush, a little bit of titanium white, and go right along the edge here, tapping it right where you think your water edge would be. Just using the corner of the brush. Maybe this comes around this way, that's that way. You can use a palette knife, but this seems to work good for me. You got the water line going. I'm going to have some water coming from here. I'm going to put some land in right now and some trees. I might put some trees around here and make this kind of secluded in. So we're going to take that fan brush with all the colors. I'm going to go into phthalo green. It's the darker color. Phthalo green, some sap green. Get some dark color happening, because when you put your highlights on, it'll pop real good with the darker colors on there. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to load this fan brush up with the same colors. Get that happening. We're going to start out by having some coming right in here. Maybe there's a big tree right here that's coming down, almost over the mountain. Just tapping it in. Loading your brush up. Leave some spots there where maybe you could see the clouds through it. Maybe they're just a little bit there. But what I want to do is kind of make this fuller here, come out more. And it's your world, and that's what you can do. Just have to fill it in. Maybe it comes right in like that. I'm just going to put these in right now and get a basic look of how far I want to come down, how much I want to come in. Just like that. Then I'll fill it in. Maybe this comes right down into the, so we're going to have land here. So, who knows? Maybe it comes right down into the land. And I'm going to pick up some darker color where your critters might live, right at the inside the base of the tree. It's always darker in there. You almost can't see through it. Add some more. I'm going to add a little bit of liquid clear that we use. Kind of thins the paint out a little bit. I think it'll help it stick. Yeah, there you go. Get some of that darker color in there. Just what I'm looking for. Just like that. Okay, load up some more. We're going to fill this in. Usually where the trees or the majority of the woods are, it's always darker. If you ever notice in nature. Just tapping it in. Getting some different things happening. Maybe up here it gets lighter, of course, because it's closer to the light source and it's not so much woods there. Just like that, but what I see is I'd like to bring this over more. Here and there and there and here. Leaving some spots. But it kind of fills it in. I'm going up to the top now. I'll do the same thing. Bring some stuff happening down here. Maybe this is hanging over more. Who knows? It's your world. Step back and that's that angle you're looking for. And it pretty much is for me. I'm going to take my palette knife. And I'm going to use the edge. I'm going to scrape in some twigs and branches. And this is kind of an easy way to do it. Maybe you might not be able to see this at home. But what's happening is with the liquid white that's already on here, all I need to do is scrape this in and it pulls the paint off, leaves the white on there already. You got all your branches and I just use that palette knife. Now we'll take the same brush with the same colors. I'm going to come in on the other side. Maybe on the other side. Oh, who knows. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start putting in my, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this side yet. I'm going to start putting in some land where we want our waterfall to come from. So we're going to get some color, tapping it down, get the lay of the land. Maybe there's a hill up here, maybe it goes down, just tapping it. Add some more color. Come over to this side here. Maybe it goes right into the trees. We'll blend that back out and get the branches going. Maybe the waterfall starts there, right from the lake. We'll leave some openings here. Maybe as it gets closer, it gets bigger. Maybe the waterfall comes right out there. Goes in. Maybe right out there. We'll have a waterfall right in front here where it'll fall. Right now I'm just putting in the land. The lay of the land. Just using the corner of the brush and tapping. Just coming down. This kind of takes up the most time, but you'll see once you start highlighting it, it's worth it. I use a I use this brush because I noticed that I like the way the paintbrush works. I can put it right where I want to. It's a little bit of a smaller brush. It's not the 2-inch brush, and you get some different things happening off of this. Who knows? We'll just go right to here for now, then we'll see what happens with our waterfall. What we want to happen. Whether we want a ledge here with some rocks, or it's your world. It's whatever you think. Really doesn't much matter what's going on there, because I'm going to put some trees in there. I'm going to pick up some darker color here because it's closer. Maybe there's not as much sun hitting it over here. So I would just dab it in. Doing the same thing here because I'm not sure how I'm going to, after I put the water in, what angles I want. Just like that, the water coming through. Now, I'm going to take a palette knife. I'm going to take some purple color. And I'm going to scrape it in like we did the mountains. Scraping our water. Since I like that dark colors, because in the pond or in the creek, and right here will make the waterfall. Just taking that edge, just dropping it down. Fill it in here and there and there and here where it gets smaller. Just pull down. Right from the top there, just scrape a little bit harder. It kind of gives you that little bit of a white look. And you'll see we'll put some stuff happening down at the bottom. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take some white now. I'm going to come back and highlight some of this, like we did the mountains. Just going across. Wiping it off, grabbing some more white where the water's running. Where the water runs deep. And take a little bit of that white just at the top, where the waterfall might start. You might have that little bit of white there happening, where it's starting to come over and run down. Just like that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this fan brush. I'm going to clean it off. I'm using odorless paint thinner. It's always good. That way it doesn't get too too strong. Okay, I'm going to blend some of this in now, where the water came through. Just with the edge. Just with that little point. And barely tapping. Barely going back and forth. We'll come back in and maybe highlight it some more with some white if we don't like the way it looks. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to set it into the land. You don't have to go everywhere with it. Just here and there. Make it look natural. Kind of like that. Go back into the palette knife and some white. Going across. Highlighting. Where the water's rushing. Where the water's coming through. Now we're going to take the dark colors we used on the other fan brush. We're going to bring the land down. Tapping it right down. Both sides. Right to the water line. Add more color. Maybe on this side, coming right over. This side, here, there, here. And we'll come in and we'll highlight it. Get all the grassy things going. Just like that. I kind of set it down in there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add some blue like we used for the shade of the mountain. I think if we put a blue hue in here, might give the illusion of water. That's what we're trying to do. I'm adding some white. Some white and some blue. Kind of leaving it marbly. Just letting the canvas take the blue. It gives you the rest. I add some of that same color right on the edge. Just tapping. Right where the waterfall's running over. Got some of that happening. Now we'll come back in. We'll blend that in. Just barely touching. Pull down. Pull down and we'll do some water lines next. Take some white, little roll of paint. Just tapping in some water lines. Maybe here and there and there and here. Maybe right at the edge here. We'll put a nicer water line where it's dropping off. Add some more white. Give it that look. Of a waterfall. Pulling it down. Just like that. Now, I'm going to take some white and we're going to splash up where the water might have been hitting down here. At the bottom. You got all that stuff turning and happening down there. All that misty. Just here and there. Okay, now in order for that to show up better, I'm going to have to put some more water in. I'm going to use a 2-inch brush. And I'm going to tap in maybe where the water comes down here. Maybe it comes down into a pond. Maybe the pond goes right like that. Add some more color. All across. Leave that opening down the middle so you get the illusion that it's water. And what we're going to do is build a little ledge here, I think. I'm going to use some brown color. Like a Van Dyke brown. Get a little roll. I'm going to do like a mountain. Van Dyke brown, some black. Maybe some purple. Maybe in our world there's some rocks right here. Just pull down. Get some more paint, a little bit more black, purple, mix it all up. There's some different things happening in that. And that all by itself. Maybe it goes right up in who knows where. That breaks it off. Makes it look like there's a ledge there. We'll put some water back in through here, but we're going to highlight some more of the mountain or the edge here. Maybe bring that down. You know, without blending it in like we did the mountain, I kind of like it just the way it is. And and I'm going to start putting some highlights in. Because those can almost look like highlights. Where some of the stuff is hitting. Okay, now I'm going to take the blender brush, I'll take the palette knife. I'm going to add some more dark color, Van Dyke brown, midnight black. I'm going to come right along the edge here. Let's say there's a sandy area, beach. I want it kind of dark there, just break it up, make it a distinct look. But that's what's happening right there. Just pulling up, pushing down. Whatever. Now I'm going to get some more white on here. Maybe highlight some here. Give it that stony look. This ledge is almost coming straight down. Got a lot of stuff happening. Okay, I'm going to take the fan brush, we had the greens on it. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to bring that all together. Bring that right down. Have some of that coming over the edge. Maybe some darker color because it's darker here. And who knows, maybe that goes right down there. Right off the canvas. This side we're going to do the same thing. I'll leave this go for right now because I want to bring some of that water in. Some of that water line. Taking a 2-inch brush, I'm just kind of bringing this all in here. Blended it in by the shore. You'll have that look where it's darker. Pull down a little bit and go across. Goes right into the who knows where. Got that happening with the water. Pick up some more darker color, more darker purple. Just like that. It's happening, and I'm going to fill this in because I'm going to have this coming down. Need some more purple. Crimson, blue, more of a purple, darker in here, more darker. I like it to be darker. We'll have it dark here, almost like a black on one. I want it real dark back here because that's the way it's going to look in nature. So I'm going to add a little bit of black to that. For that crimson and blue, a little bit of black. Maybe on this side it's a little lighter. Maybe it depends on where the sun's coming through. It's wherever it should be. We'll take the blender brush now and do like we did in the water up by the mountain. Kind of blending all this down. Some of that land, put it in. Because if you notice, there's a reflection. If you notice on ponds and lakes, and there's always that reflection of the land. Pull it straight down. Straight down. Clean off the excess. And go across. Barely give it that. Oh. Give it that look of that water. Beautiful. Leaving that light color in there. What a reflection. Okay, I'm going back to my fan brush. I'm going to add some liquid white. Just on the corner, I think. I'm going to try to make kind of like the same motion we did with the clouds. I'm just going to tap it. Get some of this going down here where the hope you can see that. All I'm doing is tapping. I'm going to get some of that look of the water coming in, hitting, splashing. Going to have those little waves coming across. After the water, it's going to be kind of rough around that area, just like that. Just here and there and there and here. Now we'll make a little water line, a little bit of roll of paint, and we'll come over here, I think, just barely tapping. Right where you might think some of the water, a little bit of detail. I'm going to go back into the fan brush with the dark colors on there, a little bit of liquid clear. Load it up. I'm going to come down here and bring all this in. Kind of have all that run down. Darker, darker, darker. Can be light, I guess, underneath there. Some spots, whatever you think nature looks like. In your world, there's all kinds of things happening. Don't have to be. That's where it's all kind of came over the edge here. I'm going to change the angle on it a little bit. I'm not real pleased with that. And it's your world. I'm going to have some of these come over the rocks now too. Just dabbing. Just pushing down. And you're taking that edge off. And it sets everything in. It almost looks like the stuff's growing over the mountain, over the ledge. And that's exactly what you want. Here I'm coming down a little bit further with this. Kind of get rid of that. Just like that. Now we'll start with some liquid white, liquid clear, and some green colors because we're going to put in some trees over here. And I think in our world we're going to have an evergreen tree right there. Just tap it down. From the corner of the brush, barely tapping, going back and forth. The way you think an evergreen tree will look is exactly the way it should look. The harder you tap, the closer you get to the ground, and you get that look. Just like that. Add some more color. Maybe there's a little one right here. Just like that. Just tap. Maybe we got one here. Tapping it. Tap straight down. Corner of the brush. Just tap it, go across. Leave some openings in between too, because the tree's not all, it's all filled in, like a perfect Christmas tree. And maybe we got another one here. Same thing. You don't have to start out at the very top either, because in nature, sometimes the trees went through a rough winter. They don't have all their branches. So there's some spots where maybe I'm going to put a little one right in the middle. Tap. Tap, tap, tap. Just like that. Got 3 there, 2 there. I think I'm going to put one here, big one here, we'll straighten that out. Going a little crooked, and we can do that, and you'll see that it'll blend right in. You won't even be able to tell. Maybe this one goes almost right off the canvas. A little bit of the liquid clear, and start tapping. Back and forth. The harder you tap, the more you get down. To the land. Just like that. Same thing up here. Maybe this one comes down further. There's no branches at the very top. Maybe this one's an older tree that's been here for a while. So he might look a little different. And this one's going to get blended right in. Going to blend right in with that one and in the land. And like I said, this can get all tapped in. Makes it look like there's bushes over there. Step back, and that looks like a little pond and a little this happening and that happening. And what I'm going to do now is load up this paintbrush. I'm going to clean it right now. So I'm going to go into the yellow colors. I'm going to start highlighting. Since we already got the greens on there, we can go into liquid white, more liquid white, and cadmium yellow. Load it right up on the brush, just like that. And let's say we'll start here and just tap. Get the highlights going. Just tap. You don't want to tap too much. Just a little bit, grab some more paint. Maybe it's going right underneath the tree here. Because the more you tap, you kind of diffuse it. Take away the color. And I think we want the highlights to be there. Just tap. Maybe up here there's a big one. Comes right down. And pay attention to the lay of the land. Wherever you think and however you want the land to look. You can make it straight. You can put mountains. You can put big hills. Whatever you'd like by just tapping. Maybe this one comes right down. I'm going to pull some more yellow and some more liquid whites. Load up the brush. Maybe in our world it looks like that. Who knows? It's like a little path, but it's really a little stream coming through here. I'm going to highlight this right along the edge because I think in nature you'd have that little sharpiness there, the sharpness of right by the edge of the water. Adding some more yellow. Make it pop a little bit more. And it goes right underneath, right where the trees are. It's going to get darker underneath here, but we can highlight it just to give it that look of that it's underneath the tree. It won't be dark. I mean, it won't be light under there. Have that darker look. Same thing over here on this side. I'm going to blend this in. Maybe this lay of the land comes down sharper because you're right here on the edge. So maybe it breaks down like that. Who knows? Just like that. Now we're loading up more yellow, more white. It's back and forth, yellow and white and yellow, until you get your right look that you're looking for. Your right highlight that you're trying to create. Like I said, a lot of this stuff you could just keep working on it. Wherever you're at, you could spend all the time. Maybe up here it's zinging. If you look in nature, the grass, but I hope you see that next time when you're out. Look at nature. You'll see some areas are really sharp. There's a lot of light hitting off of the land. And in other spots there's not. Just depends on where the light is. Like let's say maybe up here the light's hitting, really popping it up here. Right in that area, right there. And then it goes darker, lighter. It's kind of like it's your world. Maybe it's lights popping right here. Just at the top. You don't touch it, you blend it back. You get all kinds of little lays of the land happening. And then like I said, it gets darker. You don't have a whole lot happening back in through here. But we can highlight some of it like we did the other side. So you got something happening. A little bit of reflections here and there. Maybe it's hanging over. Like over here. It's hanging on that side. Okay, more white, more yellow, more white. Want it brighter. Want it brighter in some areas. Like right there. Right on that hill. Right there. And you want the different shades going on. Different shades of yellow. Step back and looks pretty good to me. I'm going to take that palette knife, scrape in some more little twigs, branches. Kind of adds detail and character. Already did this side. We'll put some further off by these trees. You can see them here, and I wish you could see them where you're at. Well, it looks like that's a finished painting, and I'm going to go ahead and get my liner brush. And I always like to sign mine in the corners with the lighter color that we use. I use liquid clear, a little bit of paint thinner. You get a consistency of ink. You load it right up. I like signing mine in this corner here. I like putting my last name. Some people put their initials. You can use whatever you'd like. What I like to do too is put what year it was painted. So you can look back and see the progress you made, or what changes, or whatever you'd like. Some people might just ask you. So this is another different scene. I've painted a few already. I hope you come back and visit me. This one's got the little waterfall coming through, a little stream coming from the lake. With the snow-capped mountains, you could say that it melted. You can create your own little story. The water melted off, made that pond, it came through this, and this, who knows where this part goes. But I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you come back and see me, and have a nice day.